All right, we need to start again here. I move that we vote on House Bill 2123, Taylor's auxiliary lighting for motorcycles do pass. Is there any discussion? I see none. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Chairman Porter,
Aye.
Vice Chair Buckeye Courtway, Representatives Butts, Bangert, Bromley, Berger, Busick, Hurlbert, Mosley, Pfeiffer, Pouchet, Railsback, Smith, and Taylor.
By your vote of 12-0, you have voted 2123 do pass. That concludes the executive session portion of this hearing. We will now move into the public hearing for 3 House bills. First up is House Bill 2219. Representative O'Donnell, will you please come forward to present your bill?
Sorry, I didn't mean to anticipate the program, Mr. Chairman.
You're a true scout.
Good afternoon. I am Michael O'Donnell. I represent the southernmost part of St. Louis County in the 95th District. Here to present to you House Bill 2219 relating to Boy Scout license plates. This legislation, Boy Scout license plates are currently approved, but this legislation seeks to remove the 200 application minimum for the Boy Scout license plates to go into production. The reason we're asking for this is first that the 200 application bar is tough to meet. I was part of the group that worked on actually getting Boy Scout license plates approved, and prior to that, about 2 years prior, we had gotten Eagle Scout and Boy Scout Order of the Arrow license plates approved, and I took it upon myself to collect the 10 applications that were required in statute at that point. And the Boy Scout license plate one wasn't too, or the Eagle Scout license plate one wasn't too bad because we had guys that were kind of expecting it, and so it took me a couple months to collect those 10 applications and checks and things like that. But the Order of the Arrow one took a little longer, and so we got about 6-8 months down the road, and people were like, so I wrote you a check a few months ago, or the license plate's coming, what's going on? So, you know, take that circumstance and make it 20-fold by having to get 200 applications. The reason we ask for this exception is that our councils, all of the councils across the state of Missouri, actively promote the license plates that are in circulation now. And we think that because of that, because people are so interested in the Boy Scout license plate, because it is so general, the plates that are currently in circulation are very, very specialized. So Eagle Scout, only 4% of all scouts become Eagle Scouts. And so the fact that we have as many in circulation may translate to us being able to get 200 applications in circulation quickly. As of September 27th of 2021, there were 249 scouting-related plates in circulation, and this is from the Department of Revenue. Eagle Scout, there were 145. Tribe of Mickasay in Kansas City, there's 70. Tribe of Mickasay from St. Joe, there are 13, and the Order of the Arrow, there's 21. And like I said, this would just affect the Boy Scout license plate portion, which is a much bigger pool of. We could see active volunteers wanting to promote the scouting program. As far as the history of this request, in 2019, we passed this 13-0 out of transportation and 8-1 out of rules. 2020, we passed out of transportation 14-0 and rules 8-0. And then it was added to an omnibus transportation bill. And I was excited because I was at a restaurant with a friend and they said, hey, the transportation bill passed. And I said, woohoo, we finally got Boy Scout license plates. Good to go. And then some of you that were here will remember that the Senate then took up that bill, found out there was something in that bill that was undesirable, took it up before they had adjourned, and shot it down. So we were that close. 2021, we passed it out of transportation 14-0 and rules 10-0, and we third read it on the floor 156-1. And just one last nugget of history. Yesterday, February 8th, was the 112th anniversary of the founding of the Boy Scouts of America. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Representative. Any questions from the members? Representative Mosley?
To inquire.
Proceed.
Thank you. Just a real quick question. What was the part that I guess, foiled everything when the bill was filed
I
before.
think it was an eminent domain that had gotten snuck into the bill, and I think that's what tanked that transportation bill.
Okay. Thank you.
Any further questions? Thank you, Representative. Are there any witnesses here in favor of this bill? I see none. Are there any people here against this bill wishing to participate? I see none. Anybody here for informational purposes only? I see none. This concludes the hearing on House Bill 2219. Next up, will be House Bill 1464. Representative Schnelting, will you please come forward and present your bill?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. Adam Schnelting, represent Eastern St. Charles County. I'm going to be brief. So House Bill 1464 designates a portion of Highway 94 in St. Charles as the George Washington Highway. It's a fitting memorial to the father of our country. Additionally, the bill designates an additional portion of Highway F as the Daniel Boone Highway. That stretch of highway actually runs by Daniel Boone's home in St. Charles County, so we thought that was fitting. But lastly, it designates a portion of Highway K in St. Charles County after or in honor of Major General Samuel Wells. All three of these individuals served our country in the military and fought during the Revolutionary War. In fact, Samuel Wells was a local to O'Fallon, Missouri after the war. But prior to that, he was born in Virginia in 1754, moved to Kentucky, was a member of the legislature there. When after the Revolutionary War, he moved to Missouri, to O'Fallon, and actually represented Missouri in the legislature here. So he's buried along that highway, Highway K, and his descendants still live here with us today in St. Charles County. So thought this would be a fitting way to honor their memory.
Thank you, Representative. Any questions for the bill handler? We have one. Representative Pfeiffer,
Yes, to inquire.
proceed.
I knew who Daniel Boone was and George Washington. I did not know about General Samuel Wells, so I looked him up. Last year, when we were talking about a memorial highway in the state legislature, a representative asked a question that I thought was a really good one, which is, do we know what that person's history was in terms of the enslavement of other people? And so I, with that question in mind, I looked at the biography that I could find of General Samuel Wells. I did not see anything about him having enslaved people, but do you happen to know what his personal history was?
I do not.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Any further questions of the bill handler? I see none. Thank you, Representative.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Are there any witnesses for in favor of this bill wishing to speak? I see none. Any against wish to speak? I see none. Any for informational purposes only? I see none. This concludes the hearing on House Bill 1464. I'm going to be next for House Bill 2524. I'm going to hand this over to Representative Bromley. He's going to run with this. I'll be right back.
Representative, when you're ready to proceed with House Bill 2524, you may go ahead and proceed.
Thank you, Representative and members of the committee. My name is Jeff Porter. I'm State Representative for District 42. I encompass all of Montgomery County, the majority of Warren County, and a portion of St. Charles County around the Augusta area. Today is House Bill 2524. It's a naming bill for a memorial highway for the Russell Lee Burton Memorial Highway. Russell Lee Burton, we're going to have a lot of witnesses that's going to talk after this, but he was a close friend of mine. When I was mayor for 8 terms, he was involved with the city government with me as one of the department heads. So when he was killed, it left a big hole in everybody's heart. So it's kind of a tough thing to talk about. I'm going to not say too much because people behind me want to talk about it, but I know that it's very important to me. So I want to make sure people realize, the importance of this naming because it's going to affect a lot of people. The stretch of highway we're looking at is on Highway 19. It's about a 5-mile stretch, starts at Kimmick Road, which is north side of I-70, crosses over I-70 down to Struby Road. Again, it's about a 5-mile stretch, and where he lost his life was right on the overpass. So I will tell you more, but I think I'm going to save it for the witness behind for them. At this time, would entertain any questions?
Thank you, Representative. Are there any questions from the members? Representative Taylor,
To inquire.
proceed.
First time this has been heard here, is that
Yes.
correct? Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions for the representative? Okay, you're may step aside there, and we'll call for any witnesses here in favor of this bill? Just make sure that you do have your witness forms filled out, and most of you probably did that ahead of time, but if you haven't, we have forms available. And I'll just let you kind of decide who wants to go first and proceed from there. And you may begin when you get ready.
Good afternoon, Chairman and committee members. My name is Linda Block, and I'm the Deputy City Clerk for the City of Montgomery. On October 16th, 2021, our Montgomery City Hall family and entire Montgomery County community lost our valuable member and dear friend, Russell Burton. Russell was born and raised in New Florence, Missouri. He started working for the City of New Florence in the late 70s until he accepted a full-time position with the City of Montgomery in January 1982. As Superintendent of Public Utilities during this 35 years of employment, Russell oversaw the maintenance of the utilities, which included water, sewer, and natural gas systems. He was instrumental in the upgrade of our Elkhorn Sewer Treatment Plant and the construction of a second plant known as Clear Creek. Russ could see that if the city was going to grow, it needed more additional water sources. A second and third water tower and plant were added to the countless projects he led. He was a jack of all trades and shared his skills. Russ and other city staff remodeled the building that currently houses City Hall, turning a grocery store into a professional building. He played a huge part in the construction of a corner park and the design of a decorative water fountain, which is located in the heart of Montgomery City. In an effort to keep semis off from parking long-term on city streets, Russ took on the project and researched the feasibility of a truck parking lot. He worked side by side with city staff to complete the project in 1984. High on Russ's list of yearly maintenance projects was the replacement of water and sewer mains throughout town. He worked hard to replace small sections of old line as the budget would allow. Admired and respected by his fellow operators, he was selected as Outstanding Operator of the Year in 1994 by the Missouri Water and Wastewater Conference Midwest Section. Although he retired in January of 2017, his work will not be forgotten. Russ was a one-of-a-kind employee, a licensed water and sewer operator, a carpenter, a heavy equipment operator, electrician, and boss. He was also instrumental in board member of the Montgomery County Fair Association, developing 2-track tractor pulls. Russ was one of the original organizers of the George Lipscomb Toy Ride and the Bikes, Wings, and Warriors annual fundraiser for local needs in Montgomery County. He gave 100% of himself in each job or event he took on. He was a great friend to all and is sorely missed by his community. The City of Montgomery, in conjunction with the surrounding communities, supports the naming of the stretch of Highway 19 from Kimmick Road to Struby Road in Montgomery County as a Russell Lee Memorial Highway. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Linda. Any questions of the witness? I see none. Thank you. Next witness, please. Be sure to have your form filled out.
Yes, online.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Chairman and committee members. My name is Justin Burton, son of Russell Burton. My brother Ryan Burton and I are here today on behalf of the Burton family. Russell was a father, grandfather, great-grandfather, trusted friend, loving husband, and brother. In addition to the kind words and accomplishments that Linda stated, our dad was an active member of the Montgomery County School Board when my brother and I were in school. He actively volunteered in our school functions and was always around. His name represents what this community is truly about: generous, kind, helpful, welcoming. The day he was taken, he was participating in a charity event for a person in the community that needed help. This is who he was and what the community is. Our dad was taken from us way too soon, and it would be an honor to have this section of highway dedicated in memory of our father. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions of this witness? I see none. Thank you. Any further witnesses that wishes to speak? And I know everybody feels very passionate about this. If you don't want to speak, we all know there is plenty of support for this. I see no further witnesses. Is there anybody here to speak against? Which is probably a good thing they're not. Anybody here to speak for informational purposes only? I see not. Mr. Clerk has just informed me if you want to be listed on record and did not want to speak, but want to be listed as name only, there's a form that you can fill out just to put up there to be listed on record. So you're welcome to do that after we close the hearing. This concludes the hearing. I appreciate everybody being here. There was no further business before the Transportation Committee, so we are now adjourned. Thank you.